Dedicated to Artemis, the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus was constructed in the 6th century BCE on the western coast of Asia Minor, present-day Turkey. Its massive size, twice that of other Greek temples like the Parthenon, led to its rapid ascent to the status of one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The temple was a major center of worship for the goddess Artemis and was visited by people from all over the ancient world. It was also an important commercial center, as the temple was located near the harbor of Ephesus and served as a hub for trade and commerce. Pilgrims would come from far and wide to offer sacrifices and gifts to Artemis at the temple, and the city of Ephesus prospered as a result of this religious and commercial activity. The massive Ionic temple was destroyed by fire in the 4th century BCE, but was rebuilt and survived until the early Middle Ages, when it was destroyed by the Gothic invasion in the middle of the 3rd century CE. After being demolished and rebuilt several times, it was finally obliterated in 401 CE by a rabble of Christians. Only the foundations and a single column remain at the site of what was once the biggest temple in the ancient Mediterranean. Welcome to Hallmark History! Before we get into the specifics of what makes the Temple of Artemis such a marvel and remarkable, don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe if you found this entertaining. Artemis ruled virginity, the hunt, wild animals, forests, motherhood, and fertility. Unlike other parts of Greece, where she is frequently represented without eggs, her cult at Ephesus incorporated Eastern characteristics. The goddess adored in Ephesus is called Artemis Ephesia. The city endured numerous raids by the neighboring kingdom of Lydia, but also managed to capture part of its culture. A splendid new temple to Artemis was built by the Lydian king Croesus, r. 560 to 546 BCE, who dedicated many columns to the goddess between 560 and 550 BCE, as the Greek historian Herodotus put it, Histories, 1.92. Intriguingly, archaeologists unearthed a column drum with the inscription dedicated by Croesus at the site. With the futile but desperate hope that devoting the entire city to Artemis would protect them from the Lydians, the Ephesians tied a rope 1,243 meters, 4,081 feet, long between the old temple and the city, as recorded by Herodotus. Pliny the Elder, a 1st century CE Roman author, says Chersiphron of Knossos, a skilled architect, oversaw the Ionic temple, although Strabo, a Greek geographer, circa 64 BCE-circa 24 CE, says both Chersiphron and his son Metagenes deserve credit. Both may have lived in the 8th century BCE and helped build the first temple. Chersiphron and Metagenes wrote a temple treatise in the 6th century BCE. Vitruvius, a Roman author and architect, says the first two started the project, and Paeonius of Ephesus finished it. Starting in 550 BCE, the construction of the marble temple took 120 years. It was dedicated, like its forerunners, to Artemis. The Artemisium is another name for it. It was on the outskirts of town, as was customary for Greek Artemis temples, because the goddess was revered for her control over nature and the natural world. Almost twice as large as the Parthenon of 5th century BCE Athens, the temple's proportions were 129.5 meters, 425 feet, in length and 68.6 meters, 225 feet, as recorded by Pliny the Elder in his Natural History, 36.97, 69.5 by 30.9 meters. Layers of soft mortar mixture and charcoal formed the base of the Ephesus temple. The temple's ornamental frieze featured Amazon-centric images. In addition to the marble chips and charcoal, layers of soil were uncovered during excavations in the year 1870 CE. In the 4th century BCE, one of history's most notorious arsonists, Herostratus, set fire to Croesus' temple. Based on Plutarch's account, Alexander the Great was born on July 21, 356 BCE, the same day the Temple of Artemis was destroyed in a fire, the 6th day of Hecatomeon. In Plutarch's writings, Artemis is portrayed as the goddess of childbirth. Rebuilt in the same location and using the same blueprints as the original, but improved at least according to Strabo, Geography, January 14, 2021. One of the 7 wonders of the ancient world was the Ephesus temple dedicated to Artemis. It was the most magnificent monument of Grecian splendor, as proclaimed by Pliny the Elder. That it surpasses all buildings among mankind is what impressed Pausanias the most. Because of its tale, Western archaeologists explored the Temple of Artemis in the 19th century CE. John Turtlewood founded in 1869. Under the guidance of the British Museum in London, excavations revealed important items, including 1st and 2nd century marble statues of Artemis Ephesia. In 1904 CE, excavations uncovered new information about the huge temple's ruins. The earliest objects are votive offerings from the 7th century BCE. Several capital and column fragments from the temple's construction in the 6th century BCE have been uncovered, but the Nasus was a Hellenistic column drum. The drum has relief carvings of Hades, Persephone, and Hermes. Today, just the temple's foundations and one column remain. This lends the once grand site a melancholy rather than a lost grandeur air. Today, the remains of the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus can still be seen in the ancient city of Ephesus, which has been excavated and restored by modern archaeologists. The temple is a testament to the ingenuity and artistic skills of the ancient Greeks and is a popular tourist destination for visitors to the region. Visitors to the temple can see the remains of the columns, the foundations, and the sculptures that adorn the temple, as well as other artifacts and treasures that were found at the site. We appreciate you tuning into our Hallmark History channel and visiting the Temple of Artemis with us. We trust that your newfound knowledge and admiration for this remarkable piece of antiquity was a pleasurable experience. If you liked this video, you should subscribe to our channel so that you can see all of our future uploads. We appreciate your time and attention.